I? Love the car.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you all again. Hopefully you were safe over the weekend. It's good to see you back. I told you we would chat before the market opens. We'll just look at some of the progress for Mullen. I thought that was a pretty interesting video that they have on their web page right now, so figure we'd just play a little clip of that in case you aren't keeping up on it. I recorded this once before and it was just too long and too boring, so we're going to speed it up. We're going to make it a little bit quicker and we will go from there. I've updated my charts. I've looked into kind of the numbers we've been working with and where we've been at, just kind of drug them over so that we would have them going into what we have now. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing. So let's look upside downside potentials. Let's just kind of analyze, and we're going to do a little bit of a bonus on the overall market SPY, I guess, just to show you what I'm looking at there as well. So with Mullen right now, we're at 28.60. It's holding pretty decent on this trend line, but like I said before, this trend line is steep. So let's see how it continues to move off of this trend line. If we do see a little bit of a cool off, what I'm watching is 28 cents and 25 cents. Right, we played this starting with the channel off of the fib circles. We got an awesome call out between 64 65 cents. Some of you guys made 300%. Then we went into the Wyckoff theory. Some of you guys hopefully made another 100% off of that run. So at this point, you could be totally risk off as far as Mullen goes in your position, holding it for the long term just to see what happens. And if not, you know, we've also been trading that 21 and 23, 23 to 25. So if you hit that a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, again, your position could be totally free. I have a trading plan going into this year. That's one thing I want everybody to write up, is a trading plan. If you have one, kind of look over it, revise it if necessary. I will share with you mine in the coming days. I'm going to revise mine because I've heard some very nice things over the past year that I think I could incorporate into my trading plan as well, which would be good. So what we're looking for is right now 28 cents to hold, and then if 28 cents doesn't hold, we want to see that 25 cents hold. I'm going to get a whole lot more excited once we get back above 35 cents. So let's watch it between 33 to 35 cents, how it's moving. And then ultimately, we need to take out this 40 cent level roughly where we got rejected with the halt. If we get into that 35 cent with some strength, obviously 40 cents is within reach, and then from there we're looking up to 45, back to 53, and then to around 62 cents again. That's going to be the level that we probably want to break out from 62 to 65 cents. We want to see that reclaim and carry on as far as the Wyckoff theory is involved, and we want to see that happen sooner than later. We have came down to retest our zones a couple of times, which might be the final time, you know, a second test. You know, it doesn't want to go lower. It didn't look like it did, so it was pushing. So that's what we're watching there. The RSIs on the 30-minute and the 1 hour have been bouncing relatively close to our trend line. I drew that, extended it over as well, just so that we can keep an eye on that. It has lost it here and there just briefly, but quickly pops back up, so I like to see that. The 1 hour working its way back down. You can see, if you pull it up on your chart, you'll see the lower highs, you'll see the lower lows that are getting set. So does say that we could, one, head back down closer to this neutral line on our RSI, or even all the way down to the trend line, so keep an eye there. The longer time frames are looking good, but they're going to be affected by what our shorter time frames are doing overall. So be watching it on your shorter time frames for now. See if it's going to turn around, as you make your decision as we're going in there. I told you we would look at SPY as well. So SPY is interesting to me because I think it's kind of in a little bit of no man's land right now. So we have been getting rejected by this trend line here, which you could potentially draw up on your charts. I don't love this green trend line. I'm just using it for intraday. The red trend line is our bigger picture of where it has been perfectly rejecting for quite some time. You can see rejection, rejection, rejection. So our support's coming in down here at the green. Support, 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 support. It's getting wider. It's a falling, broadening. Where is the market's actually going to turn around? That's our question, is when and where. The fib lines have been working out good. I post them on Twitter quite often just in case you're a SPY trader on the daily. You can kind of watch those channels and be able to see how it's moving within the channels of the fib lines. They've been working out really well. So, in the near future, we're watching to see. I could see the overall markets wanting. I don't know if we're going to crack 400 again before we go lower, but I could see somewhere in the 396 range, possibly holding up. Maybe even if it wants to get really aggressive, get back to that 400 before rejection, but I just don't think it's time for it to turn and burn just yet. So being in this no man's land where we're sitting roughly, it's at 382 right now. We're looking at support or somewhere in the channel of 379 to 389. If it wants to reject off of this trend line, like I said, I don't put a lot of faith into it, but it could work its way a little bit lower before it works its way back up. We know big money, they're trying to take their money off the table and still be profitable. They don't want to lose that money on the way down. They can take some profits, so let retail buy it up type of thing and then sell it off on them. So we could head potentially a little bit higher from here. I have not been able to make a solid connection between what the broader markets are doing and what Mullen's doing. Nothing that I could set in stone and tell you, hey, if the markets go up, Mullen's going to go up, or vice versa. Mullen's kind of doing its own thing, which is nice. What I would say is keep in mind what the other EVs are doing. Tesla's been getting hit hard. NIO's worked its way back down. Fisker has some nice news out there as of recent, and they're still kind of just chopping. What else? Sin is probably somewhere in the range of what Mullen's doing or a little bit ahead of them, and they had a little pop and they're getting hit pretty hard right now. So let's keep an eye on the other EVs as we're watching this as well, just to see what's happening. I will come back this evening if I can get it in, and we'll look at a 2-3 plays for possibly going into next week, or a couple weeks out, see which ones move, see which ones don't, see where the support is, and just some potentials to make money in the market. So we'll throw that out there as well. But keep an eye on the RSIs. We started with the fib circles as well, and I think we do have another fib circle that would be coming up here in our final fib circle possibly. Do we have one more? Or are we out? Let's look. I should have looked. Yeah, so we got one more as far as out here on the daily, which is interesting to see where that's coming in. We know there's going to be that vote somewhere, and I think they pushed it off. Don't set it in stone, but somewhere in mid-January, January 18th-ish range. So kind of interesting how Fibonacci knows that these things are going to be market movers and time frames. I don't know. I don't know why it works out that way, but we will have another fib circle coming in, and some sort of action does seem to happen around those lines as well. So let's keep an eye on it. But as of right now, trending beautiful. At some point, we're going to be looking for a little bit of a cool off. So if you're actively trading it, have a trading plan. If you're sitting here holding, waiting, that is what it is. But just protect your counts on the way down. As we talked about, that trading plan, make 2023 different than 2022 if you can, and actively have something in place and ready to go, just so that you're protecting your accounts as we move through this. So yeah, we're looking ultimately 33 cents is probably where I'm going to start to get excited. 35 and then 40-cent breakout. Can we take out that high that we initially set at 64.65? So that's upside as to what I'm watching. Downside 28 cents down to 25 cents, and then we're going to fall back into our obvious trading range that everybody's familiar with if you've been coming back here. So I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're looking forward to the markets. I hope you have a game plan, and I hope that we make some money. So I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.